Welcome to Cupful of Calm with Nyla Qayyum.
Today, I'm taking you to a story that is very different from what I usually share here. It's not a novel, not a piece of poetry, not even a philosophical thought, but a tragedy so real, so haunting, that it has fascinated people for centuries. This is the story of Pompeii. Pompeii was an ancient Roman city, vibrant, alive, filled with laughter, trade, dreams, and desires. Every time I read about it, I can't help but imagine, what were those people doing just before it all ended? Did someone leave bread in the oven, planning to share it at dinner? Was a family preparing for a wedding, discussing dowries and new clothes? Were children playing in the streets, chasing each other under the Italian sun? Did anyone look at the sky that morning and sense what was coming? Or were they, like us, lost in their routines, completely unaware of the fate chasing them? Pompeii's people lived like any society, full of contrasts. They built beautiful villas decorated with mosaics and frescoes. They enjoyed theater, music, and bustling markets. Their standard of living ranged from wealthy nobles with spacious courtyards to slaves and workers who lived in narrow, crowded rooms. Their choices, their ethics, even their flaws were written on their walls, literally. The graffiti discovered in Pompeii reveals jokes, insults, love notes, and sometimes shameless expressions of immoral behavior. It makes me wonder, was this city destroyed as punishment for excess? Or was it simply nature reminding us how small we really are? Different faiths and cultures have answered this in different ways. Christianity and Judaism have often pointed to it as a sign of divine wrath, while in Islam, some see it as a lesson, a reminder of how whole nations can be wiped out when arrogance blinds them. Others, however, look at Pompeii not as punishment, but as tragedy, a natural disaster where innocent and guilty, rich and poor, all became equal in a single moment of ash and fire. When Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, the sky turned black, fire and stones rained down, and within hours, the entire city was buried under volcanic ash. People had no clue. They had no time to escape. Many were caught in their final moments, frozen forever, some still holding jewelry, some clutching their children, some lying side by side, hand in hand, their faces twisted in shock, fear, and disbelief. It's almost unbearable to imagine an entire city's last breath, sealed in time. Centuries later, when archaeologists began to dig, they discovered something extraordinary. Pompeii was not just destroyed, it was preserved. Walls, frescoes, tools, food, even loaves of bread in ovens. And then, the plaster casts, bodies captured in the very moment of death, their outlines and expressions giving us a window into that lost day. It feels like stepping into a time machine, like the city was paused and left for us to discover. Today, Pompeii lies near modern Naples, Italy. It has become one of the most visited archaeological sites in the world. Millions of tourists walk through its silent streets each year. They stand in amphitheaters once filled with cheers, in homes decorated with art that has survived 2,000 years, and in places that whisper of both beauty and decay. The most discussed, most haunting sights are the plaster casts, figures of men, women, and children caught in their last breath. It costs around 20 to 30 euros to enter, but no amount of money can prepare you for the weight of what you feel there. Pompeii's people spoke Latin. They believed in Roman gods, Jupiter, Venus, Bacchus. They celebrated festivals, enjoyed banquets, and lived with the same hopes and struggles that we do today. When I think of them, I imagine their plans. A farmer expecting harvest, a young couple preparing for marriage, a merchant looking forward to his next deal. All of it wiped away in a single day. What strikes me most is the element of surprise. Their faces, preserved in ash, still carry that look of shock, the kind of disbelief we all feel when something unthinkable happens. And I wonder, how different are we really? Aren't we too lost in our daily routines, making plans for tomorrow, never knowing what might change in the blink of an eye? Pompeii is more than history. It's a mirror, showing us how fragile life is, how suddenly it can all be taken away, and how little control we actually have. When I think about it, I feel a pause in my heart, a weight in my chest. It makes me want to mourn for those strangers of long ago, to cry for the dreams they never lived, and to reflect on how easily our own plans could vanish. This story fascinates me not just because it is ancient, but because it feels so painfully human. Pompeii is gone, but in its ruins, it has left us a lesson: to live with humility, to cherish each day, and to never take tomorrow for granted. Stay with me at Cupful of Calm, because history is not just about the past. Sometimes it is the clearest reflection of ourselves. If you enjoyed this calm, thoughtful, and eye-opening review of history, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And press the bell icon so you never miss more such reflective, fascinating, and soul-stirring stories.